How's it going, guys? I happen to have a picture-in-picture against a guy by the name of... Dude, I honestly don't even know how to pronounce this. Some of these stream names, man, like, some of them are funny and some of them are like... whatever. It's in the title. Just not even going to attempt it. But we had a standard match with some weird standard pokes. Not exactly weird, but it's kind of weird to see them together, I guess. And I learned that, like, all these years that I was using... Do you guys remember that whole fish tank shebang that I used to do where I'd put my wireless mouse on top of the thing and just be like, hey, we'll play it back right now. My phone acts as a wireless remote, and I did not know that until today. So, yeah, that's the thing. We're going to go ahead and play that back right now. Okay. So, looking at the team preview, he's got Jolteon and some stuff. I can't see, like, half the screen now that I realize how I'm doing this, but that's actually going to be okay. But, I honestly was just like, you know, I just really want to use Banded Haxus. I really want to hit something kind of hard. And then I brought Magnezone just to trap Scarm because, you know, H and the Ferrothorn and stuff like that, just because it needs to be gotten rid of. Although I think that Magnezone does not have HP Fire. I think the Gengar has HP Fire. There's, like, 3 things with HP... Hidden Power something, and only one of them actually has HP Fire for sure. I thought my Alakazam was one of the ones I was going to have Hidden Power Fire, because I know I do have a different Zam, but it turns out to not be that one. That comes into play a little bit later. I'm not going to. So, I lead off with Magnezone because I know more than likely he's going to lead off with Jolteon. I want to get the Volt Switch off on something, now that he realizes that I don't have a Ground type or a solid resist other than Magnezone for this. So, because I know he's more than likely going to Volt Switch to try to get the Switch advantage, I'm going to go for the Volt Switch myself. It would have been absolutely horrible if he'd have decided to go for something other than Volt Switch, but thankfully he doesn't, and I just get to pop this Espeon with a Volt Switch of my own. His specs, I can tell because I resist that shit, and it still does like 33%, and Jolteon is not exactly a powerhouse. So the fact that it would have done 66% to something, like if Magnezone didn't resist it, it would have done exactly double that. That's a lot for just a Volt Switch. It's not even that powerful. It's just kind of a scatter move. Whatever. Going to Alakazam after that, and I figure, might as well go for Shadow Ball. And right here is that point where I said that, you know, the Hidden Power thing actually ended up mattering, because I thought this was Fire. My other Alakazam has Hidden Power Fire just because I sometimes really don't like to fuck around with Scizor and, you know, that kind of stuff. So, when Ferrothorn comes in, might as well do the same thing too. Also hits Scarm okay, you know, whole neutral thing there, hits Metagross, cleans up Jirachi, I guess. So it's not terrible, you just lose Speed Ties against other Zams and anything else in that tier that I can't really remember off the top of my head. Anyways, I get a crit on the Espeon. It's not too vital, just because I still had my Sash intact at the end of the day, so I would have just ended up taking him out either way. It's kind of whatever. But, and the Terrakion comes in and goes for Stone Edge. If you miss it, that would have been fantastic, but still would have had my Sash intact. But I do, in fact, have a Sash, and I live the hit, and I just take him out with Psychic, not messing around with that. Goes into his Jolteon. I'm now realizing that I forgot to bring something for that, but it's not very often I just, like, actually end up fighting a Specs Jolteon. Then again, I don't really play Pokemon as much as I used to, like, compared to, like, 1 or 2 years ago. Whatever, man, it's kind of whatever. I really do need to play more seriously. It's probably just because I hadn't salved enough stuff. I've been using a lot of the same stuff for years, and I ain't changed it up. But the one thing I haven't really used a lot is my Scarf Magnezone. My Scarf Magnezone, I do remember for a fact, has Hidden Power Ice. So I figure I might as well go for it right here. He's either going to A, DD on the switch, or he's going to B, take me out with an Earthquake. I didn't think I was going to be able to take another Volt Switch from Jolteon if I had that opportunity to switch it again, so I figured, hey, I might as well try to sack it right here, and I'll just go for an HP Ice. Turns out he tried to sub and then DD on me. That was a very sneaky placer, but it didn't end up working because he fell a little bit short of the sub. So, get to go for an HP Ice on whatever the hell wants to switch in. Turns out I got a little hit off on Jolteon. It really doesn't matter at all. And it actually turns out that I live this Volt Switch too on 8, and I don't know how that happens. I guess I got a really low roll on the other one, or I got like mid rolls on the other 2, and then this one just fell slightly short. I really couldn't tell you. But Ferrothorn's gonna come in. Because I have Ice and not Fire, I'm just gonna get some pretty piss poor damage. I do get a crit on it, and I'm also just now realizing that this Ferrothorn does not have max HP. I don't know what the story with that is, and it's not really taking my hidden powers too well either, but whatever. He gets a T-Wave off, and I believe... I'm not going to say he's offensive because of T-Wave. Whatever, this is... we see leftovers. Whatever, I'm just not even going to question the fact that he doesn't have max HP. There's probably a pretty valid explanation for that, though, so... I'm gonna go for another hidden power because I'm Scarfed and I still outspeed a Ferrothorn, and I get a crit on this one. The crits and all of these hidden powers that I'm getting off right now do not matter in any way, shape, or form whatsoever because I bring in my Gengar next turn. And I do threaten it out with the HP Fire. He probably thought he was just going to end up taking a Focus Blast and decided to sack it. So as long as he decided to stay in to sack it, regardless of how much damage I do to him with those hidden powers, it was just kind of a whatever play, you know, would have happened eventually. So, taking out an HP Fire, I really love this Gengar set, but it doesn't really see a lot of use. Like, it used to be really good in Fortune, it's the Mystic Guard set with Protect and HP Fire. Because then when Scizor comes in, you just, like, Protect on either the Bullet Punch or the Pursuit. If it tries Pursuit, you HP Fire it. If you Protect and it Bullet Punches, then you just switch out. It's pretty cool. But I decided to Protect right there for no reason other than to be a goof. I was like, okay, you know what, I really still don't have anything to take this on. So I figure I might as well go into my Alakazam. Volt Switch, he will go for the Volt Switch, knock on my Alakazam, and ultimately I am the one that will end up with the Switch Initiative, which is cool by me. I also just now noticed that he got a crit on the 1 HP. That's fucking game-changing. No, it's not. Okay, so he goes into Haxorus, and I believe I just go into my Gengar at this point, if I'm not mistaken. Just take him out with Life Orb Shadow Ball. So, pretty straightforward. Getting a little ahead of myself, but it's kind of how it goes. I really like this background. I got this background from when me and Zed were, like, fucking around with versus recorder combinations. I should probably release my list of backgrounds I found out in the near future in a video or something like that. If you guys really want to see that, let me know. I'll make a video with like all the backgrounds I've found so far. All the ones that I found that I actually have a record of, they're kind of cool, but I know Black and White 2 is going to get cycled out eventually, so I don't know. If you want them, you want them. If not, just whatever, we'll figure it out. So I figure I'm just going to die to Specs Volt Switch because Jolteon and because, well, shit, it's Gengar. Turns out I live this hit too. I don't even understand how Gengar actually living a hit, but then again, Gengar's special defense is actually it's a reasonable chunk better than its physical defense. And then, on top of that, I take myself out going to Life Orb, so I don't even get to figure out what this freaking Hydreigon is, and that's actually kind of scary. So, I decided to go into my Gyarados right now because I know if I can live the hit, I can Thunder Wave it, and then it becomes a little bit more manageable for the rest of my team. I can take it out with Haxorus or something of the sort. I do still have Haxorus left. But it goes for a Draco, and it kind of surprises me that it takes it out in one shot. I honestly didn't really expect that to happen, and I have a little bit of HP EVs too, so that was a little bit of shock. But that's fine. I learned he's Life Orb, and, you know, he's not, like, Scarf or anything like that. So, I figure I might as well go into Haxorus, but this has a reason. Although that Haxorus was flashy as hell, and it died about as quickly as it came in, that was for the reason that I wanted to get him down to -4 to the point where I could live a Fire Blast or an Earth Power from him, and go into something that's really underrated and probably isn't really all that good at all, but I like using Agility Lucario once in a blue moon. And I was like, you know what? -4, as long as he doesn't burn me with the Fire Blast, I should be okay, and I should be able to take it. And I take it with around, like, 30% HP? Kind of round up a little bit on that. Anyways, Agility is actually going to put me at the point where I can outspeed his Hydreigon and his Jolteon, and just take out both with either, you know, 2 Ice Punches or 2 Close Combats or 2 whatever the hell I want. So I think I have Crunch on this thing for Jellicent as well. But no priority on this one, just straight up Agility. I like Agility Sweepers, and I think you should too, because they're awesome. That was an awkward as fuck way to end this video. I'm sorry, but I really had nothing better to say. It was kind of a shortish standard game. Was one of the games for my stream this week. I was like, alright, you know, I'll upload this one, and maybe I'll stream again later this week. So I got a big old list of stuff that I want to salve later on in the week. It's like 30 to 40 pokes, and I'm super excited to get to them. And I had, like, offensive Drapion on my mind for, like, days and days and days. I blame you, Tommy, because that was just, like, I forgot Drapion was a Pokemon. It was really cool. But I didn't even use Drapion. I used 6 other Pokemon, and I fought him against 6 other Pokemon, and that actually turned out to be the game. So, if you guys enjoyed it, you are more than welcome to leave a like rating. Comment and subscribe and do your thing, as you always do. And if you're not doing that yet, well, it's a pretty cool thing that you should probably end up doing. Anyways, I noticed that Persona 4 Arena has actually been met with a little bit of positive reception, which I was kind of surprised about. So I'll probably be uploading that a little bit more later in the week. Spyro's going to end this week, unfortunately, so I'm going to probably take the time to figure out what game I want to LP next, and then record a couple of episodes, and then hit you guys with that, so it'll probably be like a week or two while I regroup and get some episodes under my belt. You all know how that is. But other than that, we are looking okay. Gaps in schedules usually just happen just because I get busy or whatever. It's not because I forgot. Well, sometimes it's because I forgot, truthfully. But Whatever, I think I'm done talking here. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get loads of comments about this. I don't know, positive, negative. I felt like doing it, and that was the thing. So, that's all I really felt the need to address. So, see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.